Everybody, I am Scotty J. Welcome back to Rock Titan Live. We've got an awesome guest with us today. Truth be told, this is someone that I have been looking forward to talking to for a long time. Ever since we caught up with From Ashes to New. They were on tour with this band some while back, and I got turned on to their music, and it just blew me away. And then not too long ago, their publicist reached out to me about a soundtrack for a movie that they were featured in called Snow Babies. And there is a review out on the Rock Titan TV website for Snow Babies. And we've had Tommy Vex from Bad Wolves on. We've had Danny. We've had Matt with From Ashes to New on. They're all featured on that soundtrack, as is this next artist. And the lead singer, I'm telling you right now, if you guys love Evanescence and Halestorm, this band is there. They are one of them. Absolutely incredible voice. And if we're lucky, we're going to get some free counseling in the course of this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, I have got the front woman of Eva Under Fire, all right? Amanda Lyberg. Amanda, how are you?
What's up, my friend? I'm amazing, especially after that awesome ramp up. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. I went a little over 30 seconds, didn't I?
I was expecting it, but that's okay. You were
Yeah.
just, hyping me up. So I'm going to let you go.
Yeah. Well, I know you're someone who's used to watching the clock. Everything is time based, It's like, oh, I'm sorry, we're out of time.
Yeah, well, yeah. We usually actually set a chime so that me and my whomever is sitting across from me, right? We can just go eye to eye and get really into it and go all the way in. And then the chime is the one that lets us know and interrupts us every time. So, but I hope that interviews and things like that, we can really capitalize on that moment, capitalize on that time that we get.
Now, see, Amanda, this is one of the things that blows me away because you were telling me not too long ago that you're still getting relatively new to doing interviews, doing the whole media cycle and Zooms and podcasts and things of that nature. That just really shocks me because ever since I tuned into Eva Under Fire and I've looked at all your music videos, going back like 4 years to your debut EP and everything like that, your music is absolutely incredible. All the attention that you're getting right now is of no surprise to me whatsoever. Is it a surprise to you?
No, I like what I do. I do. And I think, with the right platform, this is how I have access to awesome people like you that kind of talk this up and keep it going, right? But um before it was DIY. So this is a new platform. This is a new normal for me, which is really cool. So I appreciate being here.
Well, one of the things that I'm curious about a number of things about you, Amanda. But so you have an amazing voice. You're part of an amazing band. Your music is truly, truly great. But I am to understand that you are also a professional psychologist.
That's right.
So were was being a professional musician a desire or passion of yours prior to going to school to pursue a degree in psychology?
So here's how my brain works. It's so weird, wonky. I'll give you the
Okay.
insider glimpse, okay?
All right.
My passion is real, honest human connection, right? And I can do that two ways. I can do therapy with one-on-one people telling me the real story, right? Let's get real results. And I can do that with music specific to rock and roll that is raw emotion in many cases, right? I can connect with one human at a time or hundreds at a time. I wasn't really sure which one was going to work out, so I just plowed through with both options. And then the universe laughed at me and said, hey, both of these are viable. So we're just going to put you as a psychologist musician. I went,
I
all right.
love it. I love it. Well, I'll tell you what, because so many musicians, and I say this a little tongue in cheek, everyone that watches Rock Titan Live and they've gotten to know me, they know that I can be serious, but, I can joke around a little bit. And I don't necessarily mean this in a joking manner completely, which is why I say it's a little tongue in cheek. But with musicians specifically, artists at large, there is a very emotional element to everything that they produce. I just find that artists at large, musicians specifically, feel things very deeply. They're very emotional. very oftentimes you just hear of all kinds of mental, emotional type of torment that they've endured over the course of their lives that have led them to where they are doing what they're doing right now. And I think it's very interesting for you as a musician that here you are also a psychologist. Do you find that to be the same thing? And do you find that because of your professional background in psychology, that's kind of helped you navigate these waters in the music world and interacting with other people?
It's interesting because I think this brings up a really good thing of like a preconceived notion a lot of people have, and I'll break this down for you right here.
Mm.
What you're saying, I think, was uh, musicians are typically really emotionally unstable creatures.
Okay, all right.
Let's
You
just get right to the point.
you
All
said
right.
it. All right.
I am an emotionally unstable creature. The only difference is awareness. Humans are
Oh,
messy. We're broken. It's
okay.
weird. The human condition's a strange, like, existence. It is. But I think so. So my position as a musician, my position as a therapist, my position as a friend, as a colleague, whatever definition or title that I get, I like having the awareness to just simply be with other people. And I think that my studies in psychology honestly started from trying to figure out what my own brokenness was.
Mm.
Because I think everybody's been through some things. And I looked at my stuff and went, how am I gonna really figure this out? Right. And so my part of my coping skill definitely has always been music. Part of my coping skill is definitely being on stage and performing. But I found through that coping skill that others were responding to my own humanness, the atmosphere to be able to just like let that out or let that go or find another person that gets it. Both in the heavy moments with songs that are like ballad driven, right?
Hmm.
Very powerful stuff, but also with just the let's have an amazing time despite the world right now. I think that's the other message that a lot of people could really use, especially right now in 2020.
No, I absolutely agree. And, speaking of messages that people could use in 2020, I definitely want to get to one of your newest singles, which is Heroin, featured on the Snow Babies soundtrack. Well, let's just dive right into that. I know that prior to the pandemic, prior to this, coronavirus, COVID-19, just insanity that we've been going through since last winter, the tail end of last winter. One of the main topics, one of the things that was really trending was this opioid epidemic, which it never went away. Nothing ever changed. Just it kind of fell into the shadow, if you will, of COVID-19. And your single, Heroin, featured on the Snow Babies soundtrack, which Snow Babies, everybody, was put out by Better Noise Films, part of Better Noise Music, which represents Eva Under Fire. Your music featured on that, it seems it's very personal for you, is it not? I mean, this is a very personal topic for a variety of reasons, but can you maybe touch on that a little bit? What this song really meant to you personally, and why it was, I guess, maybe that you had particular pride in this. I don't know if pride's maybe the right word, but the fact that it was featured on a soundtrack for a movie like Snow Babies.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And pride is a good way to put it because I found I was kind of proud of myself for just allowing it to be what it was. And speaking about my own truth is really important. We talk a lot about that, honestly, in therapy and music. Speaking our truth, right? That's important. And I come from a space where I love addicts. I love my parents were both addicts, and loving an addict is a very secretive and dark space to be in. They don't like it when you tell people what's really going on. It's very sensitive. It's very hush hush. Um, and that to me, now that I've lived this, I have a weird way of looking at it because I experienced like the ultimate dichotomy, right? My parents were both users. My mother came out of it, my father did not. So I see both, right? The loss and the recovery, the terrible and the wonderful. It's so strange to me. So that now I always have this accompaniment in my brain and in my heart of, yes, it's painful, but so worth it. Yes, there's achievement, but also sadness. And there's just this, it's always tied, good and bad, both in my world because of what I went through. Um, but yeah, I was, it's so interesting, honestly, that you bring it up that way. When I was in the studio and we were writing the song, it was only several months after my dad had passed from overdose.
Mm.
So I'm, bless my bandmate's heart and my producer's heart. They just gave me my own space, even with as much as we had on the line to write our first major label record, right?
Mm-hmm.
They just gave me my space to do my thing, especially in this moment, right? So I'm I'm at my producer's house because we were in his basement writing all of their stuff, and I'm just like in tears. It's Niagara Falls, right? As I'm penning my heart out, and my producer texts my bandmates like, "Hey, she seems like she needs a minute. Just text me when it's safe to come back down." Right? We're gonna let her have this one. So let me know when we want to continue, right? I don't want to push her. So I was really grateful for that. But that moment, I needed that for the lyrics to really come to where they are. And it was so much of a personal story. I mean, I felt like I just ripped a page out of my diary and handed it in, with no, focus on is this a hit record, right? This was my story, and it was
Right.
one of the songs that we had written for the album. Album wasn't even close to done yet at that point, and so I was really having some anxiety stuff going on when I was like waiting around to see like what the reaction would be at the label. And let me tell you how wonderful this label is. They called, we were on a conference, and they said, listen, I know that the record's not done yet, but can we have Heroin first? Can we get that one done first? Because we really want to have this on the soundtrack, because there's this movie called Snow Babies, and it's just, this is what the movie needed. And I was like shocked. I didn't realize that there would be anybody that would, you know, so many times I've poured my heart into these songs and have people singing them back to me, and I know that they get it. But this one was so personal, so real, so like, just, it was on a different level for me. So to have that validation, I felt instant gratitude, instantly like I was supposed to be where I was exactly where I was supposed to be in that moment. And that just the stars aligned and my dad was smiling, and I was like, again, Niagara Falls on the phone with AJ, our rep at the label, going, listen, I know you don't know me yet, and I know you don't know my story, but thank you so much. This means a lot to me. And now we're here, and the movie's been released, and it's incredible, and it's doing so many amazing things. And
Yeah.
for our music to be part of that, it's just insane, especially in the insane world that we're living in.
Yeah, you're not kidding, Amanda. So again, everybody, we are here with Amanda Lyberg from Eva Under Fire, and make sure you go out, Google Eva Under Fire. You're gonna get all their stuff right away. But on their YouTube channel specifically, they've got all their music videos going back, to their original EP that was like 4 years back. So I do want to talk a little bit about some of the new music you have going on, which I'm sure Heroin is going to be a part of, that song being featured on. But oh my God, like you and I were talking in the beginning, and I compared you to the likes of Lizzie Hale, or Amy Lee from Evanescence. Truly, oh my God, everybody, you got to go out and listen to Amanda. Her voice is insane. And yeah, Amanda actually, it came from that famous Boston song. If you're all familiar with Boston, if you love the band Boston and that song Amanda, I personally love that song. No, I'm teasing. I'm
I
teasing.
told you, I want to
Yeah,
take you.
yeah.
All right.
You should.
Anyway,
Well, I guess it would be cheesy if you did that cover, right? You couldn't really do that cover
no,
because
I
it's your
can't do that,
name,
Jeffrey.
Yeah, no. But maybe some Boston song. You could rock some Boston song. More than a feeling. More than a feeling would be cool.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah,
You
that's a good
know.
idea. So we've been, just because COVID world, right? We've been hashing out some covers and stuff like that. I'm gonna put that on the list.
There you go. See, I plant seeds, Amanda. I plant seeds. That's what I do on Rock Titan. I give artists all kinds of ideas all the time. I know I'll never get credit for any of them, but that doesn't matter. As long as you guys are all happy and thriving, that's all that matters to me. And for you as a professional musician, as well as a psychologist, I know that all you want is for the best for everyone, whether it's a client or a fan. I know that's all you care about, you know? But
See? Yeah, I knew you weren't crazy.
no, not completely. You know what? It's funny though, because here you are. You've got this aqua color hair. What or teal? What is that color that you have in
It
right
is
now?
teal.
Is it
Yeah, if
teal?
you, yeah, there's green a lot in there.
All right, all right. So when you are counseling, do you show up to a counseling session looking like a rock star, or are you like one of those like superheroes where this is your one persona and then you have to get into a totally different persona and you like take the color out of your hair or you wear a wig? And I know you wear glasses at times, so you put on the glasses like Supergirl and you have to look professional, right?
Oh gosh, yeah. You know what? I wish I was as cool as a superhero to be able to do that, but I'm not that quick. So my next client's gonna walk into me just like this.
Wow,
This is what they get.
that's pretty
I
cool.
do, I do, however, so I have like a professional profile, like a bio and stuff, and I make sure that I am pictured in colored hair and without my glasses. And so I am transparent, so you can be transparent. But just
Okay.
know that when you make an appointment, I have green hair.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, one of the things I think that's very unique about you, though, because you're interacting with all these musicians, especially when you go on tour. Not that we've been on tour the entire year of 2020, you know, maybe a little bit in the beginning last year, and then everything went to hell. Hopefully, 2021's a little bit different. But it would seem to me that you have this unique capability to double dip, you know? So while you're out there on tour doing your music, it's like, you know, and you're working around all these other, you know, mentally, emotionally disturbed musicians. You bet, well, you know, here's my card. You know, my tour bus is right back here. You know, we can have a little chat if you need to. You know, I can get your head straight before you hit the stage. You
Cash
know,
sessions only because we're broke musicians. No,
has
that
anything
was
like that ever
totally
happened though?
wrong and ethically wrong. No,
Yeah.
you know what? It's funny though, because I think of myself as this, you know, sort of, it's a weird combo for the time being, but I do love being with independent, you know, clients as it stands now. And then with the opportunity to tour later, what I'd love to do is, all right, I'm going to give you my grand plan. Are you ready for this?
Let's get the Grandmaster plan from Amanda Lyberg
Grand,
here.
this
Yeah.
is a grand plan. So here's what I am. I told my bandmates this. They think I'm nuts, but that's okay. I'm used to that.
Right on.
So I have my license. This is, and I want to keep my license, but I'm going to elevate what I do, right? So what I'd like is, I'd like for everybody to go and listen to Eva Under Fire. Stream us, download us as much as you possibly can, right? Then when the world
Yes.
opens up, we just do this whole takeover thing, and I get all of the entertainment world to fund my big idea for more accessible healthcare for broad spectrum people with all levels, right? Access to treatment. That's what I want. I'm going to take it from the entertainment industry. I'm
Awesome.
going to shove it right back into where I know it belongs. So
You're awesome.
help me out here, people.
You just became my favorite musician.
Woo, that's
That
big. Big
that's
compliment.
no, I'm serious. Like, I mean, it's one thing to give back in the way that one can as a musician, but doing what you do, it is very unique, and I think that's very special. And the fact that you would even look to take on a challenge like that, that's pretty special. That being said, have you ever met any other musicians that you were like kind of interacting with, and you're like, don't name any names. Not that you would, you know, doctor.
Yep.
Not you know, I know you know, but client privilege, client counselor privilege, and whatnot. Have you ever come across anyone where you're like, man, I need to give them my card. Here you go. You know.
No, no, we've been through this. I'm just as broken as everybody else is. I can't
Oh, that's
fix
right.
them, but
That's
I can
right.
help them,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Awareness, right? So I can be,
Yes.
here's what we can do together in this whole weird world, right? Let's be human and then talk about what that's supposed to look like.
Right on.
And why we feel so off base, or we feel like we just, you know, kind of lost ourselves for a minute back there. I can't tell you how many people that I meet, just not even clients, but just humans that I meet that are like, this just feels terrible. And I'm like, yeah, dude, we're in a global pandemic. You're not going to feel okay. And it sucks, but like, we'll get through it. We just got through a whole bunch of other stuff too. I mean, you could look at history, you could look at everybody's individual track record of what you've been through with your family, with your own mistakes, with whatever, right? I mean, like we've seen some things at this point. We're gonna make it. We just gotta wait till the world gets right a little bit, and then we can do all of our like awesome stuff that we want to do, like the whole go back to rock shows and then take all that money and put it into mental health.
I'll tell you what, that would be awesome. And that is something at Rock Titan, that we always try to do is try to help some of these causes. Any revenue that we generate, whether we're giving it to cancer, whether we are giving it to mental and emotional health, suicide rates are, starting to go through the roof these days. Obviously that's something very near and dear to our hearts that we're trying to take on as well, bring awareness to that. So that's all very, very special. Before I let you go, because I know, I'm sorry, go.
I'm sorry. I had one quick thing. Cause you were like, I want people to know. Have you watched Snow Babies? Have you seen the film yet?
I've only seen clips.
Okay. When you watch the film, and you can get it on Amazon Prime, you can go all kinds of different places to actually purchase the movie, see the movie, right? I'm going to tell you this now is not Hollywood's version of recovery, but what you will do is by purchasing that movie, that proceeds go to Global Recovery Initiatives Fund. So they already have it in the works. Global Recovery Initiatives Fund helps people in early recovery get access to more resources for early recovery. So, I mean, and if you're probably familiar with a lot of these things cost something, right?
Yep.
For inpatient rehab, for detox centers, for all these things. So anytime anybody wants to download or stream Heroin, download or stream the movie Snow Babies that features our song Heroin, you are also inherently giving back, and we appreciate you.
That is awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Amanda, for sharing that message and putting that out there since I neglected to do so. So everyone, yes. And we're going to have all those links out here in the course of this conversation. And of course, I'm going to review some of this music, some of this new music that Eva Under Fire has coming out, which is a perfect segue. So I know that you have been working on a new album that obviously the 2020 pandemic, COVID-19 coronavirus is just thrown out of whack. But you have got an album that is complete and it is going to be getting released at some point. Is that correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
The label has already said, well, we like this one and we like this one and we like that one and we like, and for just starting out, guys, this is our first record on a major label and we've got so many reviews already from people that are excited about it. I know that when the world gets right, you're just going to absolutely love it.
Oh, how much is it killing you that you're playing the waiting game right now?
I mean, can't you see me like bouncing around in my chair?
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh.
I just can't wait. I can't wait because there's so many cool new elements, but so many awesome elements that people have loved about our band that were able to stay. And it's just this wonderful blend of like everything I could want for my new record, for our brand to be able to be in this film and part of this label this way. I'm really excited to also see once people hear the new stuff, like who they want us to go out on tour with. Like, I'm
going to come up with a list. I could come up with a list. Not that my list means anything to anyone, you know.
I want your feedback too.
Well, obviously I've already, referred to you having the vocal chops and the overall stage presence and just everything that makes Eva Under Fire what it is. There's no question in my mind you should be out there with like Evanescence or, Halestorm, In This Moment. Any of those bands, it would be huge. I think it would be huge. Or not only that, oh my God, since Motley Crue is going back out on tour at some point in time, and your music is featured on the same soundtrack as Nikki Sixx, of course, I think that would be very cool. Wouldn't that be epic?
Oh my gosh, I can't even my brain can't wrap its head around the fact that I know some of the same people they know.
So that should happen. That should happen.
on.
Nikki, by the way, all right, Amanda here. She's got a pretty cool band. She's got a pretty good voice. She's on the same soundtrack as you. Maybe you should think about taking them out on the road. Show them how it's done. And they'll probably need a counseling session or two with you as well.
I won't tell him that.
Seriously. Well,
I can be a good friend though. I'm a
you
good
know,
listener.
yeah. No, speak on people you've had to counsel and whatnot. We were joking earlier, everyone, before we got things kicking off here. Not too long ago, we got to catch up with Janet Gardner from Vixen. Of course, everyone knows her as the former frontwoman of Vixen, who we love, and that interview's out there with her and her husband, which is absolutely incredible. And one of the things that's fun, and I guess you touched on this, Amanda, you actually had a chance to catch up with Janet and her husband. Is that right? You caught up with them?
We did. Yeah, we opened for one of their shows in our local hometown last year before everything got crazy, and they were amazing people, and it was just so funny that like one of the first things that we talked about after saying hello and complimenting each other on our stage and stuff, performance wise. I was like, "Oh, this is your husband. This is my husband." And they were like, "Oh my gosh, you guys do the same thing."
That's so funny. Yes. So Rob, he's a guitarist in Eva Under Fire.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. That's amazing. Because I work in close proximity to my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And once in a while there's projectiles flying around.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that's got to be that's something. It's one thing to work with one another in the same environment, but I think it's another thing to share something that's so very close, that being your music. I mean, you guys don't just work together. You don't just work around one another. You guys are making music together, like literally. So, do you find that to be a challenge, or is that more of a blessing? Does that bring you guys closer together, or does it create more areas of,
Weird tension
there you
and
go.
chaos?
Yes.
No.
Thank you. Thank you, counselor. Yes.
Sometimes we do get a little bit like who's supposed to be in the driver's seat when we write together, right? No, this is my idea. No, this is my idea.
Okay.
No, I gave you that idea. But other than that, it is truly a blessing. It really is.
Right.
I can't imagine how other people do things like being professional touring musicians, being professional touring anybody, whether you're theater or you're like part of some touring community in any way. Being away from your people, it really takes a number. I would think, right? So I don't leave anybody when I go. So now that it's changed some things for us. I mean, we've chosen our path very specifically.
Right.
But for me, I wouldn't have it any other way.
You don't have to worry about the long distance relationship.
Yes, I can't. I'm too needy for that.
That's too funny. Oh my God, you're killing me. You're killing me. Anyway, getting back to the new music. The album's done. How many tracks are on it?
There will be 11.
There will be 11, and that's not subject to change at this point?
To my knowledge, no. But as I said, many people like different ones. So
okay. All right.
Changes. Might get more.
All right. And the album title is yet to be named.
It is yet to be named.
Okay.
We had a working titled EP called Heavy on the Heart that the label found us with and said, we don't like that it's an EP. We're going to want you to get in there and do a full record. So some of these songs are really good. So we're going to put that on the album too. We're like, sweet. So, so you might get a little bit of a preview if you go and check out, some of our streaming sites and Spotify, and you can check out songs like The Strong and Misery. That might be
okay. All right. So that's perfect. Amanda, that's how I was going to wrap this baby up. So social media, are you active in that space? Are you working in, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram? You guys active there?
All of the above. If you would like some behind the scenes look on our Eva Under Fire shenanigans, I recommend Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. You can tweet us, but we're more active on the other socials. If you want to just do a fun YouTube search, we've got some cool music videos,
Right
including Heroin, which is amazing.
Right on.
And we had a lot of help actually putting that one together. So that one, some of the families who were interviewed by the actors and actresses of the Snow Babies cast had authorized us to use their family members' photos in order to pay homage to their loved ones in our music video, which was fantastic. So these are real stories, guys. It's real stories, real stuff.
Right
so we appreciate, all the follows and stuff like that. Stream us on Spotify. Send us emails. I got a website, whole bit.
You doing anything live on Facebook or anything like that? I know a number of bands out there are like doing little live sessions and stuff like that, just interacting with their fan base. You do anything like that?
Oh yeah, we do. We actually coined it Wednesday Night Shenanigans with Eva Under Fire.
All right, so tomorrow night.
Once monthly. I don't know if we're gonna do it tomorrow night. I think it might be the following week.
All right. But I just gave away when you and I were actually talking, since we're not technically live right now. But it is what it is. Well, Amanda, thank you so much for your time. I know you got to get going, but oh my God, I got to have you back on Rock Titan Live again. It has been great getting to know you and talking to you. Your messages to just the entire public, your fan base, are incredible, and I would have expected nothing less. And I just want to personally say best wishes and all the great success that I know you have coming your way. And you're certainly most deserving, both as a person and as a musician. I can't wait to see. I cannot wait to see what you guys do. And everybody watching right now, I know you've enjoyed this podcast with Amanda from Eva Under Fire. So go out to youtube.com/Rock Titan, and you'll be able to find this podcast and a bunch of other awesome podcasts that we have out there with all the other musicians that are also featured on the movie soundtrack Snow Babies. Make sure you go check out Snow Babies. And we also have a review out there on rocktitan.tv, the website, not .com, not .org, not .net, rocktitan.tv. And you'll be able to read all about that and check out some of the newest music videos from Eva Under Fire. Amanda, thank you so much again for joining us.
Awesome, man. No, I appreciate you guys. Take care, and we'll have some more fun maybe next time.
We will. We will definitely have to catch when the album comes out. I think when the album is on the cusp of being released, we've got to catch up.
Perfect.
Sound like a plan?
Real good stories. All right. Sounds good.
Awesome. All right, everybody. I am Scotty J with Amanda Lyberg from Eva Under Fire. We're out.